Morning, Dot Tone Dan here, and I'm just showing you another quick tip. This one, after my training session with the Shirt Lab, I was made more aware of some issues that I run across with placed or pasted vector elements that are smart objects. So the intent of smart objects is to copy a vector element and paste it into Photoshop, have it link back to that vector element, and maintain that sharp, crisp, clean vector looking content. But what a lot of people do is they think that because they are pasting it in as a vector smart object that it will come out crisper and cleaner. But that only happens when you start the original with a vector image. So people are pasting in raster artwork, Photoshop images or pixel images as smart objects that, they're thinking that's going to, magically come out cleaner. But it's not. Because you're starting with, the old saying, crap in, crap out. So you're starting with fuzzy, blurry edges, pixelized images. Then you're pasting it in as a smart object into Photoshop. That doesn't benefit anybody. As you can see right here, like this circle R and all of the edges of this type, this entire logo is a pixel image. So placing it into Photoshop as a smart object has no benefit whatsoever. You may as well just save it as a Photoshop file and let it be that. And this is also another example for a small left chest like this with circle R's, registration marks in there, company registration. This artwork would work better coming in at the 600 resolution. If you got a left chest and you need to go into Photoshop, the purpose of this one, why they're doing it in Photoshop, is because of this texture pattern, the distressed pattern. So you don't want to do that in Illustrator because you can't choke it in the base. You work with those in Photoshop. So this person did this with a good intent there. But it's going to be more beneficial if you bring it in at 600 resolution. You're dealing with a small location. The file size is not going to be that big. You're not going to have hundreds of layers and hundreds of channels. So you may as well work in it at 600 resolution because at least most printers are going to be at least 600 resolution. So when you print the film or you print to a CTS machine, they're going to be at least 600 DPI at output on the machine or on the film printer. So you want to be apples to apples. So in this case, with sharp, crisp, clean images, the old idea of using 300 resolution really pertained to like 4-color process, and those files are great for that when printing halftones because they're outputting on a machine that is much higher in output capabilities, and their 300 DPI or PPI, pixels per inch, is going to be just fine for them in 4-color process printing halftone dots at 65 or 85 or 100 line screen. For us in apparel, we're going to be at 55 or 65 line screen typically. And so that's great for simulated process imaging, but not great for vectors or for artwork content that is solid spot colors like logos, like here in this case where the whole fillet is all solid red, the white is all solid white, the dark blue is all dark blue solid, and the light gray is all solid. So there's no halftones there. So I need to print this out, make it work as a solid vector. Now I can do that in Photoshop, but I can also do it better more accurately if I had the file done at 600 ppi resolution, because all of these edges will come in sharp, crisp, and clean, and this circle here will be able to be utilized in a much better way. And so I'm not going to run through the whole separation process. I'm just talking to you about pasting in smart objects. You see that little icon right there? That's obviously been, it has a link to it, and in fact if I go to it, it opens up a PSD file, PSB, and it says smart object, but when you blow up on it, it's still pixel. It's not vector. And you know, people who don't color separate are not going to realize this. They're not going to pay attention to that, nor care, unless you educate your art department and talk to them about that. You know, because designers design, they make good looking art, but they don't know what it needs to be in order to provide good files for color separation. And so this is just a tidbit to help on that area. Thanks. Dot Tone Dan out.